The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is...
Mainframe computer systems suck. Also known as big iron. Mainframe systems were introduced in the 1950s and used exclusively from the 50s through the 70s. And it's exclusively written off of a COBOL programming language. And believe it or not, companies are using it again, using this mainframe type of programming and system again, because it's cheap, it's efficient, it's reliable, and it's inexpensive. If you've ever worked in a call center, especially in the financial industry, you will be driven crazy by these systems, especially in your initial brief 2-week training period where they teach you a series of codes and actions you have to perform to get from one screen to the next or to perform a function for a customer. It's maddening. And on the following screens I'll show you, this is a screenshot that I took from a training class I had with a major telecom company that had integrated a mainframe system from a company that they had bought out. And these are all the codes I had to learn on the first day of training in a call center. And this was day one, and this is one system out of 20. This company I worked for had just purchased or merged with another company, and they were trying to integrate this mainframe system into their system. Now this big company that I worked for, everything else they had was a Microsoft-driven GUI interface system where you just click a button. You click on a button, look at the customer's system. But for those customers that had come over from the other system, they had no way to integrate the mainframe system, so you had to log into a separate system with a separate user ID and passcode, using all these series, this avalanche of codes, just to gain the customer's access to their information, schedule an appointment, log a sale, things like that. And the problem is they didn't have any way to integrate the two systems, because in order to create a Microsoft-driven GUI interface system to talk to the mainframe system, it would cost them millions of dollars to hire a company to create a Microsoft GUI interfaced system. Now, if you've worked in a call center and you've seen systems like this, you know how maddening, freaking maddening it can be to try to learn all these codes in 2 weeks and then be put on the phones. And the problem with this is that this is just one of 20 systems I had to learn. There's so many different systems in these major corporations, especially when the big company buys out little tiny telecom companies or other banks. They have to integrate all the customer information, all those systems, and the employees in turn have to learn all these systems. Now, I had already had some experience with these systems, but many of the people that I sat alongside in this training class, their previous job was at McDonald's or at Burger King, or they worked at a local gas station or movie theater, and they had never seen anything like this. Can you imagine trying to figure out what in the world a trainer's talking about when all you've been doing for the last 10 years is flipping burgers? They expect you to learn all this stuff immediately, process it, and be able to disseminate the information coherently and clearly to your customer base without making one mistake. Now picture this. You're sitting in a windowless room that has no climate control. It's either boiling hot in the summer or freezing cold in the winter. You're desperately trying to stay awake. You don't understand what they're talking about. There's not time to explain to each person individually. There's usually a class of anywhere from 25 to 40 people in a class, one trainer who's going extremely fast through all the information, and you're trying to get it down. So in this case, I took a picture of the manila paper stuck to the wall so I could take it home and read it. And I just happened to find this in some of my files on my computer. I'd forgotten I'd taken these pictures. Call centers are insane. There's no way you can learn all these codes in 2 weeks and navigate efficiently on the phones with a customer. It's impossible. This is just one example of how maddening it is to go through training in a call center. It's all maddening. It's madness. And there's no way, they've never come up with a better way to do it, and they never will, because it's all about getting people on the phones as quickly as possible. Throw bodies out there, get them out there. I don't care who quits. I don't care who gets fired. We need bodies on the phones, bodies on the phones.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is